Sri Chaitanya Manodesam Sthapitamena Bhutale Swayam Bhutam Katanayam Dadati Chaparanti Vande Shri Guru Shri Ram Padam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Shri Rupam Sagratatam Srinam Bhagavantam Tam Tam Padam Svagatam Svagadotam Paridana Krishna Chaitanya Shri Radha Krishna Padam Chaitanya Lalita Shri Vishakam Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Nami Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharani Nirvishesha Shunyavari Pashnadri Satari Namo Bhagavadaya Krishna Prema Padayakam Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namni Bharati He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpati Gopesha Gopita Kantaranamata Tatatani Chandorani Shidane Vinavishri Vrishabhanu Pranamami Vacha Kalpatarumashya Krapashinudevacham Paritanam Pavanimyo Vaishnavyo Namo Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So we started our discussion yesterday, and this 18th chapter is a summary of all the discussion which happened till now. And in one way, Bhagavad Gita was completed in the chapter 17 itself. And then we see that how Arjuna is asking question to Krishna, where he wants to know the difference between sannyas and yaga. And that query is answered by Krishna. And then later on about modes, Krishna is speaking, and then he's concluding also in this particular chapter. So we had started our discussion, and we had also seen the division of this chapter. So first 12 verses, that is text number 1 to 12, they talk about being free from bondage of karma by karma yoga. So, and then after that we had discussed the verses where Krishna spoke about what is sannyas, what is tyaga. Anyone remembers what Krishna spoke about sannyas and tyaga? What is sannyas and what is tyaga? Yesterday
Hare
we
Krishna,
discussed.
Budi.
Yes, please.
Sannyas means ki the person leaves the kama karma also and desires for fruitive activities and activities also. And in Tyag, person does not leave the kama karma, he offers the fruits to the Lord. Means,
Right. Yeah. So in tyaga, he does not give up kama karma, but then he becomes detached from the result and he offers the result to the Lord. So this we discussed. And then after that, Krishna spoke about that various people have different opinions. Some they say that activity should be given up. Some they say that activity should not be given up. And then finally, Krishna gives his own opinion in text number 6. So then Krishna says that actually Activity should not be given up, but they should be performed without attachment or any expectation of result as a matter of duty. This is my opinion, Krishna is saying like this. So this Krishna, in one way, speaks about this, that instead of renouncing the activities, uh, renouncing the tendency to be fruitive in terms of expecting a result of that activity, that is more better, and that is the final opinion of the Lord. And then Krishna speaks about uh, renunciation now in three modes. So we discussed about renunciation in ignorance, where a person he gives up the duties, prescribed duties, because of moha, because of illusion. And then we discussed the text number 8, where a person gives the prescribed duty because of trouble. Because any material activity we do, then lot of uh, anxiety, lot of frustration, lot of trouble, these things are involved. And now we are supposed to start from text number 9. Am I correct, Adarsh? We are supposed to start from text 9, right?
Yes.
Okay. कार्यम् इति एव यत्कर्म नियतं क्रियते अर्जुन संगं त्यक्त्वा फलं चैव स त्यागः सात्विको मतः. Somebody can read translation.
O Arjun, when one performs his prescribed duty only because of it ought to be done, and renounces all material association and all attachment to the fruit, his renunciation is said to be in the mode of goodness.
So now Lord is speaking about renunciation in mode of goodness. So where one performs his prescribed duty, why? Because it is supposed to be done. Karyam iti evaha. It is supposed to be done. Kriyate is supposed to be performed. So that's why he does. At the same time, what is mentioned here is renounces all material association. Sangam renounces all material association. Sangam tyaktva. And what more? Phalam. Phalam is the result. So he renounces the material association and the attachment to the fruit. This renunciation is said to be in mode of goodness. So Krishna is saying that any activity, when it is performed, why? Because it is supposed to be performed. It is my dharma to perform on this particular activity. And he is not attached to the fruit of that activity, and he is also renouncing the material association. Then that renunciation is known in the mode of goodness. Vishla Vishnu Chakri Thakur is saying is performing the nitya karma, niyatam karma, thinking that this should be done, and rejecting two things. So material association means rejecting the doership mentality and rejecting the phalam. Phalam means the desired result. That is sattvic tyagaha. So giving up doership mentality and giving up the fruitive expectation of the result, that is known as sattvic tyagaha. Srila Baldev Bhushan also says that he does them. Why? Because they are supposed to be done karyam. At the same time, he is free from doership mentality, sangam, tyaga, and then phalam. He is also not expecting the result. That type of renunciation is in mode of goodness. And since such a awareness is in the mode of goodness. Srila Prabhupada also is speaking in the same way, that the prescribed duties are done with this mentality that they are supposed to be done, without worship mentality and without attachment for the result. And Srila Prabhupada makes it more devotional, that he simply works for pleasure of Krishna. And then he's saying, Na dvesti akushalam karma कुशलेनानुसज्जते त्यागी सत्व समाविष्टो मेधावी चिन्ह संशया. Now somebody can read.
The intelligent renouncer situated in the mode of goodness, neither hateful of inauspicious work nor attached to auspicious work, has no doubts about work.
So, person, the intelligent renouncer, basically is the person who is renouncing in the mode of goodness. So, what is the attitude in relation to the activities? Neither he is hateful of inauspicious work nor attached to auspicious work, and he has no doubts about work. So acharyas, they explain this kind of attitude in relation to prescribed duties can bring the steadiness of knowledge, can bring jnana. Why? Because he is not getting affected by the activities, he is not getting affected by the trouble which is involved in the activity. He continues, he does them. And because of which he reaches to a steady jnana, he reaches to the jnana platform, the knowledge platform. So examples are also given. So he's saying like Srila Baldev Bhushan, he says, Akushalam, like he does not hate taking bath in the winter season. So it appears inauspicious work in the winter season to take bath. But he does not hate. He does. Why? Because he's supposed to do it. So he anyways goes and takes bath in the winter. Neither he has a lot of liking for something or he becomes attached to something like taking bath in the summer season. So he is not considering, oh, it is so nice. So he keeps taking bath in the summer season because it is giving him too much comfort. No, he takes bath, gives same time in the summer season also to take bath because he is supposed to take bath. So neither he is becoming hateful or not attached. Neither he is becoming hateful for inauspicious work that, oh, it is too troublesome, or becoming attached to auspicious work, oh, it is giving me too much comfort. And when he does this, then what happens is, that is very important, because he becomes firmly fixed in sattva and thus very discerning, that intelligence is steady because he does not doubt that performance of prescribed actions under difficult circumstances produce knowledge. Chinna samsaya. So because he does not have this doubt that performing prescribed duty in all situations, including the difficult situations, will produce knowledge. He will be free from all doubt, shinna samsaya, and he will have a steady intelligence, medavi. Such a person is known as a renunciate in mode of goodness. So this is a very important aspect, that when we perform our prescribed duty in all situations, then we are able to develop knowledge. Then we'll have a steady intelligence and we'll have a clear mind. Otherwise, we'll find so much dvanda will happen, so many doubts will come, and we will not have steadiness in our intelligence. That's why we see Srila Prabhupada, he gave kind of program where we have to be very steady in our performance. So Srila Prabhupada told us, Nityam Bhagavad Sevaya. And Prabhupada would not like this word, that weekly Bhagavad Saptaha. Prabhupada would say Nityam Bhagavad Sevaya, that every day we should study and hear Srimad Bhagavatam. Same way, every day without fail, wherever we are, we get up early in the morning to attend the morning program. And then same way, no matter where we are, we complete our 16 rounds, preferably in the morning itself. So any devotee who very consistently does these things which are prescribed for him in all situations, in all weathers, at all places, then what will happen is he will have a steady intelligence and he will be free from doubts. Chinna samsaya. But that is Srila Baldev Bhushan is. And then Krishna is saying, who is a true renunciate? So now, in one way, Krishna will conclude that more than renouncing the activity, renouncing the faults involved in the activity is more important. So he's saying, na hi deha bhrata sakyam tyaktam karmani asesataha yastu karma phala tyagi sa tyagete avidiyate. Somebody can read translation.
It is indeed impossible for an embodied being to give up all activities, but he who renounces the fruits of action is called one who has true.
So Krishna here in one way is concluding between sannyas and tyaga. He's saying that actually it is impossible to renounce the activities. Why? Because we are bound by three modes of material nature. So unless a person transcends these three modes of material nature, he cannot renounce the activity. So it is very impossible. And then Krishna says, and actually more than renouncing the activity, what is more important is to renounce the fruits of action. To not desire result out of action, to become detached, to become niskam. That is more important, and that is actually a truly renounced person. This is how now Krishna concludes. So we see in devotional service, one is there are actional activities, and second is there is a spirit or a mood or a consciousness behind those activities. So actional activities are important, but more important is the spirit and the mood and the consciousness behind those activities. Actional activities are important. Why? Because they will help to create that mood, that spirit, that consciousness behind those activities. So this, as devotees, you have to very nicely understand that yes, activities are important, but then behind what spirit should be there, that is more important. So what Krishna is saying is that okay, you do activities, but then you learn that you talk not getting affected by worship mentality, not becoming attached to the result, not trying to enjoy the result, instead trying to offer the result to the God. When you cultivate this consciousness, then whether you do activities or you don't do activities, that is secondary. More important is to have this purity in the consciousness, to not have worship mentality and not be attached to the result and not trying to enjoy the result. So when we cultivate this spirit, this consciousness, then performing activities and not performing activities make sense like this. So this spirit behind the activities is very important. So when we practice spiritual life also, so we practice spiritual life to attract the mercy of the Lord, to cultivate love and devotion for the Lord. That's why we see Srila Rupa Goswami also says that along with doing activities, we also have to time and again remind ourselves about what we want. So he says, Lolyam, what are your aspirations? That, oh Lord, I want to have purity of my heart, I want to have loving disposition towards you. When we chant, read, hear, we try to take shelter of the Lord, we try to cultivate and kindle this love and devotion for the Lord. So this is very important that along with the activity in devotional life, the spirit is given more importance. Sometimes a devotee may be struggling with chanting, but then he is having this aspiration, my dear Lord, please help me, I want to love you, serve you. And there is another devotee who may be a very nicely chanting, not apparently not sleeping, apparently trying to pronounce the holy names very nicely. But then he does not have that cultivation of the attitude where he wants Krishna. He just mechanically chanting. So then actually he will not be much benefited. So same thing Krishna is saying, who is to renunciate, who gives up this tendency where one thinks I am doer, where one becomes attached to the result, and where one wants to enjoy the result. Then he is a true renunciate. Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan, he says, it is better, so he is framing, it is better to give up action than simply to give up the result, because complete renunciation of action will produce steadiness in jnana without disturbance. Because any action you perform, in that anxiety will be there, disturbance will be there, and then you have to continue performing that action, and then you will have steadiness in jnana. But what Baldev Bhushan is saying, that if you give up the action itself, then you can have steadiness in jnana without the disturbance which will come from the action. This is appearing to be a more better proposal. So then he is answering what Krishna is saying. Krishna is saying, but it is not possible to give up action. You may say that, okay, I will renounce the action, but it is not possible. And Krishna told Arjuna, better. Arjuna told the Lord that, my dear Lord, instead of killing so many near and dear ones, better I renounce and go to the forest. So it appears to be a good proposal. I just go to the forest. Krishna says, you can go to the forest. You may renounce this activity of fighting now, but you cannot renounce your subhava, your conditioned nature. In the forest, when you will go, and you will go for asking alms, because to maintain body, you need to eat something. And he'll go to some Brahmana house, Bhiksham Dehi. And if the Brahmana says, get lost, who has come? How you came here? And he speaks like this, then because of your subha, you will become so angry, you may kill that Brahmana. How dare you speak like this to me? And then that will become sin. So Krishna is saying to Arjuna, don't run away from the purification of your subhava. You cannot just renounce this activity without being purified. So same way, Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan is saying, sometimes it appears for devotees also, Prabhuji, क्या इतना मैनेजमेंट, इतनी सेवा, बस वृंदावन में जाके चैंटिंग करेंगे. अरे इतना आसान नहीं है वृंदावन में जाके चैंटिंग करना. We need that purification from material modes, then we can be in Sri Vrindavan Dham and chanting the holy names of the Lord. So we cannot run away from this purification program. So that's why Krishna is saying that you cannot just give up action like this because you are conditioned. And he's saying, nahi kashit shanam api, एक क्षण भी आप जो है एक्शन को नहीं छोड़ सकते हैं. If you see, every moment we are pushed by three modes of material nature. Sometimes mode of ignorance is saying, sleep now. Sometimes mode of passion is saying, now do this. Sometimes mode of goodness is saying, now do this. Every moment we are pushed by the modes of material nature. So you cannot say that I will not act. So Lord is saying, so instead of that, you try to purify yourself, and purify yourself first from the impurities which are involved in the action. And what are those impurities? Doership mentality, attachment, in terms of expecting the result and trying to enjoy the result. So Lord is saying he is actually a tyagi. The person on the level of sanishtham, devoid of the conception of being the doer and devoid of the desire for the result, should perform all the action best of his ability with the object of attaining jnana. This is the conclusion of the Lord. So without doership mentality and without desire for the result, he should perform actions as per best of his ability. And what will happen by this? He will come on the jnana platform. He will develop jnana. It is not that suppose you do best of your quality and still the result is not coming much. No problem. That anyways is not the goal of action. And result is not yours also. The main purpose of action is purification. So Krishna is saying with that as a goal, you perform the action to
ठीक है
best
bro,
of your capacity.
प्यूरिफिकेशन
And
यही होना है.
हरे कृष्णा, ये आप थोड़ा म्यूट कर लीजिए, आपका आवाज सबको सुन रहा है. So purification is the result. And then this conclusion, a true renunciate tyagi is he who renounces the result of action, karma phala tyagi, for it is impossible for an embodied being to completely give up all actions.
Hare Krishna
So
Prabhuji.
who is a true
Prabhuji,
Hare Krishna?
document is not visible. Only the Veda was invisible till the whole time.
Acha?
Yes.
Okay, okay. Now it is visible?
Yes, yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay. So conclusion is a true renunciate is he who renounces the result of action, karma phala tyagi, for it is impossible for an embodied being to completely give up all actions. So this is how now Krishna is concluding, and Srila, this is now very nice. Srila Ramanujacharya, he puts an objection. He says that any sacrifice you perform, so naturally these sacrifices, they give result. Like now what Lord is saying is, you do your karma, you do your action, and don't expect result, don't have doership mentality. And in that way, you'll have a steady jnana. Don't stop your action in any situation. So Srila Ramanujacharya says that any action you perform, they will have some result. And many times these actions are, together with some result. Like somebody does some sacrifice. Why? Because some result is expected. So he's saying like this. So he's saying all the work is understood to be directed at specific result. Like somebody is studying in the engineering college, then naturally his that study in the college is directed to the result that he'll get a job. So same objection Srila Ramanujacharya is putting. So he's saying both kind of work, any kind of work and whatever kind of result may come, but point is any action will surely will have some result. Like a seed sown must grow into a tree and bear fruit. Hence, one who aspires for liberation should relinquish all work because the results are incompatible with liberation. Sri Krishna answers such objections. So, Srila Ramanujacharya का ये objection है. He is putting this objection in order to make it more clear that any action will perform, then that will also bring some result. So better we give up all the action, that is more better for our liberation. So like this, he is putting forward. So this objection will be answered in the coming verses. So now the text number 12. Anishtam ishtam mishram cha trividham karmana phalam bhavati atyaginam pretya natu sannyasinam kvachet. Somebody can read.
For one who is not renounced the threefold fruits of action, desirable, undesirable, and mixed. But those who are in the renounced order of life have no such result to suffer or enjoy.
Yeah, so Lord is saying one who is not renounced, what happened to him? So one who is not renounced, what happened to him is he gets three kinds of results: desirable, undesirable, and mixed. These three results he gets from where, what? Action. One who is not renounced, he will get these three results: desirable, undesirable, and mixed. Right? Naturally, any action is performed, one of these three kind of result he will get. Why? Because he is not renounced and is performing action. So he is saying, for those who do not renounce in the way described by me, after death, they'll have three types of result. One is suffering, that is going to the hell. Then happiness of Swarga, that is going to heaven. And mixture of happiness, that is again taking birth in the human form. This is not so for the person who renounce as I have declared. Like that. They attain liberation by the jnana contained within the action, with the action. That is the real result of tyaga that I have explained. So Lord is saying, those who do not renounce means what? What they do not renounce? They do not renounce the doership mentality, and they do not renounce the desire for the result. So those who do not renounce these two things, which are associated with any action, that is doership mentality and desire for the result, what happens to them? They get three kinds of result. One is desirable, that is going to heaven; undesirable, going to hell; or mixed, taking again human birth. In that they will have mixed happiness and suffering. But those who renounce, as I have told, where they perform action but they are not affected by doership mentality and they do not desire result, what happens to them? They don't suffer, they get liberation because of jnana which comes by performance of action in this way. This is what Lord is saying. Now, Srila Ramanujacharya, he is saying, so he is saying the sacrifice, charity, self-discipline, they must be performed throughout life and are necessary for achieving one's material goals. But in regard to liberation from samsara, their application is different. On the surface, these practices appear to be the same in both cases, but their end result will differ according to the motive. Sri Krishna now teaches how one can realize that one is not the agent. So now, previously Ramanujacharya had put this objection that any action we perform will have some result surely, whether desirable, undesirable, or whatever. So why not to just give up action? So one point in this is you cannot give up action unless you are purified. Right. Second thing, what is important, which is again answered by Ramanujacharya, is that although the action on the surface may appear same for a materialist and for a devotee. So materialist is performing an action, same action, but then he is getting bound in the samsara. And there is a devotee who is performing the same action, but he is not getting bound in the samsara. He is getting liberated from the samsara. Why? Because he is performing the action the way Krishna has told. He is free from doership mentality and is free from the desire for the result. So because of this difference in the consciousness, same action for a devotee is liberating in nature and same action for a materialist is bounding in the samsara. So this is the essence. So now in the text number, so from text number 1 to text number 12, Krishna spoke about how one can be free from karmic bondage through karma yoga. Now text number 13 to 17, Krishna will talk about the 5 causes of action. So now, to summarize all this, is the screen visible? Screen
Yes,
दिख
Vijay.
रहा है सबको? White screen?
Yes, Vijay.
Okay. ठीक है. इसमें first aspect is contamination in action. So why action binds a jiva? So whenever a jiva performs an action, there are 3 impurities in the action. So first impurity is kartetto abhimanah, I am the doer. Second is mamata, that is, this is mine. Third is phal abhilasha, the result should come for me. So these three are contamination. Kartatva, Abhimana, Mamata, and Phala Abhilasaha. And these three contaminations, when they are there in the action, Jiva is bound. So I have made this acronym IAE. So identification means thinking or assuming oneself as a doer. Then attachment to the result that this is mine, and expectation that result should come. So IAE, I am entangled. In that way, one can remember. So these three are contaminations in the action. IAE, I am entangled. So I means identification as a doer. Then A means attachment. That means possessing or considering this is mine. And E means expectation that result should come for me. So this is contamination in action. Now, second is action in goodness, which we discussed till now, right? So action in goodness is free from these three impurities. So that means not having identification, that means no doership mentality. Not being attached to result. That means no possessive mentality. Not expecting result. So now when one is doing this, where there is contamination in the action, then what will happen is the result is he will be more bound in samsara. Now here, when one is performing action in goodness, then what is the result? Can anyone say?
Jnana is the result.
Yes.
And then with this jnana, he'll go to liberation side.
So jnana is the result and liberation. So here, this is negative access. Here is 0, 0, 0. And then comes his Karma Yoga. So Karma Yoga is not only free from these three impurities, so Karma Yoga is not only free from these three impurities, but the action is performed as an offering to the Supreme Lord. This is difference. Now, when one is performing Karma Yoga, then what is the result? Yeah, who can tell?
He developed devotional service for Lord.
Ha, yeah, that is there. Before that, something will come.
Guruji, rising to the platform of
Yes,
Jnana Yoga.
ज्ञान तो हो गया ना गुडनेस में.
अज्ञात स्वीकृति योग.
अच्छा,
नहीं,
अच्छा, purification.
purification will happen, and then he'll be able to develop love for the Lord or go to spiritual world, whatever. Here, jnana, and then he will have liberation. And here is, he will be bound in samsara and he will be more inclined for karma. So the person, the first category, contamination in action, he will remain on a platform of karma only, and he will be bound by samsara. Action and goodness without these three impurities, he will have jnana and then liberation later. Karma yoga, where he is free from these three impurities and his action as an offering to the Supreme Lord. So result will be he purification, and he will develop for the love for the Lord. So, in the 8th verse, Srila Ramanujacharya very beautifully explains this. Yeah, this one. So now we are discussing mainly about Karma Yoga, because that is most important aspect for us. So Srila Ramanujacharya, he says very beautifully, like initially we discussed that how Nitya Karmas are not supposed to give up, right? And Nitya Karma means sacrifice, austerity, and charity. So he makes a beautiful point. He says, in fact, works themselves do not directly purify the mind, but only indirectly through channeling the grace of the God. So he's saying, any kind of action you may perform, that action itself does not purify the mind. But they can when they are channeled through the grace of God. So works like, even yajna, dan or tap, the nitya karmas which we discussed, they are also material actions in themselves. So on their own, they don't have power to touch or transform the soul consciousness. But when they are done as an offering to Lord, then they become a channel for the Lord's grace to come. And it is the grace of the Lord because of which we become purified, not the mechanical act itself. So very beautiful presentation, he says. Like any action one is performing, even charity, even tapaha, even sacrifice, and any other action he is performing, that action cannot bring purification. That action can liberate him if he is free from these three impurities. That action can come in mode of goodness. But as far as purification is concerned, that can happen by the mercy of the Lord. And that action can become a medium to attract the mercy of the Lord. And how these action can become a medium to attract the mercy of the Lord, when these actions are done as an offering to Lord. And then the mercy of the Lord comes, and then we are purified. So suppose someone is giving charity and thinking, oh, I am great, then he'll not have purification. But if the same charity is given, my Lord, this is yours, then the Lord accepts. And by his mercy, the mercy will come, and that mercy will purify us. So karma alone brings bondage. Karma in goodness will bring liberation. And karma yoga, okay, karma in and karma yoga karma yoga work done for Krishna will bring purification. And this is Srila Prabhupada also is quoting this 3.9. Work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed, otherwise work causes bondage. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, do that as an offering unto me. So not the act, but Krishna's grace through the act, it purifies the heart. So now question is how to offer work to Krishna. See, there are certain activities which you don't have to offer, they directly are accepted by Krishna. Which are those activities? Can anyone say? Where you don't have to offer to Krishna.
Chanting Prabhuji, for example.
Navvidha Bhakti.
Yes. Yes. So, Navida Bhakti. Yeah, most Navida Bhakti will come in that Swarupa Bhakti. So when you chant, you don't have to offer. The moment you call Krishna, Krishna accepts. But then other works which we do, so they are supposed to be offered to Krishna. So that's why here Krishna, this verse, which Prabhupada also is quoting, whatever you do, whatever you eat, you have to offer as an offering to me. So how to do that? The first one is that whenever we do these kind of activities, before we think that, my dear Lord, this I am taking up for your pleasure, then we try to do this particular activity as per the scriptures, as per dharma. Like suppose somebody has to earn some money, he has to do some job. The first thing is he should think that how this I'm taking for Lord's pleasure. And how that can happen? We can take blessing from some devotee to take up that particular job. Then he should do that job with dharma. He should earn with integrity. Third, he should do it without doership mentality. And fourth, along with that particular work, he should also infuse that work with bhakti. So when we are getting up early in the morning, chanting 16 rounds in the morning, hearing the daily Srimad Bhagavatam class, and while working also we are trying to be more Krishna conscious, then that much our work will become divine, right? So we have seen also how devotees, they try their best to increase their Krishna consciousness. In one lecture, His Holiness Bhakti Bharat Bhagavat Maharaj was saying that when we complete our 16 rounds and we try our best to chant nicely in the morning, then whatever we do in the daytime is an extension of our chanting, because the consciousness is carried from the early morning chanting to the work which we do in the daytime. So it is a very important aspect for us to offer our work to Krishna, to develop that divine consciousness, and that can happen by chanting 16 rounds in the morning. And then offer the result. So if the money comes, then we use a portion in the service. If the success comes, then we thank and glorify the Lord. If the failure comes, we accept as mercy of the Lord, and we try to learn what lesson Lord wants to teach me through this situation in my life. So, and then last is gratitude. That Krishna, whatever I did today, please accept it as a small offering. Please purify my heart. So like that, whatever comes, we don't become discouraged, we don't become unhappy, and we don't become, puffed up. Whatever comes, we offer it to Krishna back that, oh Krishna, I tried my best. This is my result. Please accept and please purify me. So even after chanting, devotees pray like this that, my dear Lord, I tried my best to chant, but it was a hard struggle. But please accept this and please help me to chant more better. Please purify my heart. So this is how we offer to Krishna. So when we do work in devotion like this, that is Karma Yoga. And that is the main essence of text number 1 to 12. How one can become free from karma or the karmic bondage through Karma Yoga. So this particular theme or section is a very important aspect of sadhaka's practice, because we can't be free from action. At the same time, we can't afford action to bind us, and we have to see that how we try our action to be in mode of goodness and to be as an offering to the Supreme Lord. So to the extent our action is in mode of goodness, to the extent our action is offering to the Supreme Lord, to that extent we can have purification of the heart and we can develop love for the Supreme Lord. Hare Krishna. We will end here. Any questions or doubts, devotees can ask.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, the two things which we mentioned there, that we should not have two things. One was IAE. So I could not understand the difference between A and E. In the last two, I could not understand the difference. When you were telling the Mamta, and another one was when Pravil asked what Ajute read. When you said that we should not expect, and you should also tell that we should not think that it's mine.
Yeah. So in the differences, expect in the sense we will not take up that action only where we feel much result will not come. Like one of the problem in today's world, why it's very difficult to implement Varnashrama, because people they see if I take up this, how much result I will get. And that's why they don't take up those activities which may be as per their Varna, but then they see that they may not give much result. Right? This is one aspect. Second aspect is when the result comes, then you become attached. So that is A. You understood, Prabhu? Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you. Prabhuji, so should we can we apply it in devotional service as well? Just like when we are trying to preach, then also we always go in that way only. Actually, that we try to preach in those areas to those students where we can get the maximum result. So is it wrong or right? Because anyway, if you will go or give the Krishna consciousness to any person, they will get benefited. But many a times we focus that how we can also get benefit.
No, so in this difference is when you are trying to do action for Krishna, then our thought process should be how I can offer my best to Krishna. So in that way, thinking that how I can act in a way where best things can come and best things can be offered to Krishna, that is not wrong. But when it is self-oriented, then it becomes wrong. So as a devotee, you should try his best that how I can preach, where I should preach, so that in the best way result can be offered to Krishna. And best result can come.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, this
Now,
daughter
but
little.
suppose now if our suppose if our superiors are saying that Prabhu, you preach here, you don't preach here, and we know that here result will come less, then we should go ahead because that's what is told to us. So we have to please Krishna the way Krishna wants, not the way we want. That is difference.
Prabhuji, one just little small doubt was there. You told that we have to do what will please Krishna and how we can give the best of the result, just like in any college or anywhere, just like if final years are there. If you will preach to them, then we know that they are not going to shift in the wise. But if they are the good students, then now we know that if anyone who has taken the bhakti, if not with us, then they can be connected somewhere else. So, but we make always try to have a discrimination that those who will having more time in the colleges, we try to preach with them to them. So how can we say that this only is the best result for Krishna? Because this is not best result for us who means who are preaching, but this can be best result for Krishna because not with us, then they can be connected. We can connect them to somewhere else also if they are sincere.
Yeah, see here what happens is you have to see how much time and energy you have. Like now, suppose if you have some time and energy, in which if you preach to first year, then you have 3 more years to train them and you make them more pakka devotees, right? And suppose if you have more time than this, then you can preach to second year also, then you can preach to third year also, then you can preach to fourth year also. But suppose if you have limited time, and in that instead of preaching to first year, you are giving your time to preach to fourth year, there you just introduce them and then they go to different places. And once they start working, then it is very difficult to train them, or they have a lot of difficulty to give that much time. So after 2 years, they may leave also whatever they learn. So in that way, if you see, tangibly, you are not able to help anyone. Correct, no? So we try our best to see how we can do best service to Krishna by whatever, as per whatever time, energy, and skill set Krishna has given to me, like that.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Okay. Anyone else?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, please.
Prabhuji, I just had this doubt that since the authority of Krishna is already established that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and Arjuna also knows this, then when Arjuna asked that what is the difference between renunciation and tyag, then Krishna could have directly told the answer. I mean, why did he told the opinions of other great scholars or something like that?
Opinions of great scholars.
Like he told in the verses that the opinions of some that tyag is this and renunciation is this, like that.
Oh, very good question. So this one Acharya has explained. Just give me 1 minute. Mm. So why Krishna is giving so many opinions of others? He is mentioning to approve Arjuna's question that it is worth question. Even great sages has different opinion about this subject matter, like this Acharya they say. Understood too?
Okay, Prabhuji.
In order to approve Arjuna's question that it is a great question, because even great sages or many great people are confused about this.
Yes, Prabhuji. Understood.
Okay, so thank you. Now in the next section, that is 13th to 17th, Krishna will speak about a very beautiful theme, that how to be free from doership mentality. जैसे इसमें 3 impurities हम लोगों ने देखा, आइडेंटिफिकेशन, अटैचमेंट एंड एक्सपेक्टेशन. ये तीनों में जो सबसे ज्यादा पावरफुल है वो है डूअरशिप मेंटालिटी. हमको लगता है ये मैं लाया हूं, इसलिए वो मैं से मेरा हो जाता है. वी बिकम अटैच्ड टू द रिजल्ट, लाइक दिस. So in 13 to 17, Krishna will speak about very beautiful theme, how to understand we are not doers. And it is very important to understand this aspect. So that will be covered next time when we meet.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
So among Devesh Prabhu is asking, so among all forms of yoga, is there any comparison of superiority like karma, jnana? See, in this, no, there are two things. One is form, second is consciousness. So if your consciousness becomes pure, then there is no difference in any yoga. You do karma yoga, jnana yoga, bhakti yoga, dhyan yoga, because ultimately everything is bhakti yoga for you, because your consciousness is situated in bhakti. But when our consciousness is not situated like that, then there is a difference in the form of karma yoga, jnana yoga, and bhakti yoga. Is it okay, Devesh Prabhu?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
Saman Tiwari Prabhu.
Pranam, Prabhuji.
Don't
Prabhuji, हमने
respond.
दो पॉइंट सुने। एक पॉइंट था कि प्रभु जी जैसे कोई भी हम डिवोशनल एक्टिविटी करते हैं उसके पीछे का स्पिरिट बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होता है। जैसे कि आपने
हम्म
जब का एग्जांपल दिया प्रभु जी की चैंटिंग करते हैं तो दो डिवोटी के बीच का डिफरेंस बताया प्रभु जी। और हमने एक सेकंड पॉइंट
हम्म
सुना सुना प्रभु जी की नवविधा भक्ति जो है लॉर्ड डायरेक्टली एक्सेप्ट कर लेते हैं प्रभु जी।
राइट।
फिर इन दोनों में प्रभु जी थोड़ा डिफरेंस नहीं लग रहा? मतलब जैसे कि
नहीं तो लॉर्ड एक्सेप्ट तो करते हैं, जैसे आपने चैंटिंग किया लॉर्ड एक्सेप्ट किए,
हम्म
लेकिन उससे आपको लॉर्ड कितना मर्सी देंगे वो आपके उस चैंटिंग के साथ में जो एटीट्यूड है उस पर बहुत निर्भर करेगा ऐसा।
ओके। हम्म
अभी आप देखिए जैसे नाम अपराध चैंटिंग होता है तो उसमें भगवान क्या देते हैं, धर्म अर्थ काम ही देते हैं। अब धर्म अर्थ काम भक्ति के रिजल्ट थोड़ी ना है, धर्म अर्थ काम तो कर्म कांड के रिजल्ट है, करेक्ट ना।
यस प्रभु जी।
लेकिन आप कर तो चैंटिंग रहे हो, लेकिन आपको रिजल्ट कर्म कांड का ही मिल रहा है, क्योंकि वो
हम्म
नाम अपराध चैंटिंग हो गया ऐसा।
हम्म
और नामाभास में भगवान क्या देंगे, मोक्ष देंगे।
हम्म
लेकिन जब शुद्ध नाम करते हैं तब भगवान के धाम और भगवान का प्रेम मिलता है ऐसा।
अच्छा ओके प्रभु जी।
तो एक्सेप्ट तो कर ही रहे हैं भगवान,
हम्म
लेकिन भगवान चैंटिंग के साथ में हमारा एटीट्यूड भी एक्सेप्ट कर रहा है।
हम्म
ठीक है।
यस प्रभु जी, क्लियर प्रभु जी। थैंक यू प्रभु जी।
मुझे हम एक ये भी
ओके।
सुनते हैं जैसे वी डोंट नीड एनी मेंटल एडजस्टमेंट फॉर चैंटिंग, मतलब प्रभुपाद जी से। तो ये एटीट्यूड
यस।
और ये एटीट्यूड हम भी मेंटल एडजस्टमेंट में चले जाते हैं प्रभु जी बहुत बार।
राइट।
अ, तो मतलब ये एटीट्यूड से कैसे अलग है प्रभु जी? और मतलब
नहीं ये मेंटल एडजस्टमेंट ये अलग है। तो प्रभुपाद जी जो बोलते हैं वो भी बहुत सही है कि चैंटिंग टाइम में हमको पूरा प्रयास करना चाहिए चैंटिंग को ध्यान से सुनने का, क्योंकि भक्ति
यस
की
प्रभु।
विशेषता क्या है, मीन्स और एंड सेम है। अगर हम ध्यान से चैंटिंग को सुनने का प्रयास करेंगे तो चैंटिंग के कृपा से ही हम लोग जो है एटीट्यूड को भी विकसित कर लेंगे, बाकी सब चीजें भी अपने हिसाब से हो जाएंगी। अब इसमें मेंटल एडजस्टमेंट क्या होता है कि मैं ऐसा सोचूं, मैं ऐसा सोचूं, वैसा करूं वैसा करूं, ये मेंटल एडजस्टमेंट है। लेकिन जो मैं बात कर रहा हूँ वो क्या है, आपकी एस्पिरेशन क्या है। जैसे आप चैंटिंग कर रहे हो तो आपकी एस्पिरेशन क्या है। अगर आपकी एस्पिरेशन है कि माय डियर लॉर्ड, ऑल्दो आई एम कंडीशन, ऑल्दो आई हैव मटेरियल डिजायर बट आई डोंट वांट दैम, यू अंडरस्टूड अमरीश्वर गोपाल को। तो एस्पिरेशन जो है
यस यस
वो
प्रभु
मेंटल
Yes.
एडजस्टमेंट नहीं है। हाँ आप चाहते क्या हो वो है ऐसा है। तो चैंटिंग जो है वो तो चिंतामणि है। तो अगर हमारे एस्पिरेशन प्योर है, भले ही बीच में स्ट्रगल है, और फिर आप चैंटिंग कर रहे हो, धीरे धीरे करके भगवान की कृपा से ही आप ऑब्स्टेकल्स क्रॉस करके अपनी एस्पिरेशंस की तरफ भागोगे।
ओके
ठीक है।
अंडरस्टूड। तो जो निष्काम
ओके।
कर्मयोग और कर्म में क्या फर्क है प्रभु जी? क्योंकि कर्मयोग में सब कुछ है, वो आ गया ऐसा लग रहा था, क्योंकि इम्प्योरिटी से फ्री हो गया, भगवान के लिए कर रहा है। तो फिर
हाँ राइट राइट। तो कर्म योग और निष्काम कर्म योग में क्या फर्क है। देखिए जैसे भक्ति में भी है, कर्म मिश्रित भक्ति, भक्ति मिश्रित कर्म, तो ऐसे बहुत ग्रेडेशंस रहते हैं। तो अभी कर्म योगा है, निष्काम कर्म योगा है। कर्म योगा का मतलब क्या है, भक्त जो है वो भगवान को ऑफर करने का प्रयास कर रहा है, लेकिन अपनी आसक्ति भी मेंटेन रख रहा है। लेकिन निष्काम कर्म योगा में क्या है, वो और प्योर फॉर्म ऑफ कर्म योगा है, जहां पर वो भक्त जो है भगवान को ऑफर भी, जैसे आप देखिए कई बार कोई गृहस्थ डिवोटी बोल सकता है अपनी पत्नी को, सुनती हो आज थोड़े पकौड़े बनाओ कन्हैया को चढ़ाएंगे। तो वो कन्हैया को तो चढ़ाएंगे, लेकिन उनका कन्हैया के बाद में क्या प्लान है।
खुद खाने का भी।
हाँ खुद खाने का प्लान है। तो ये कर्म योगा हो गया। निष्काम कर्म योगा में ये होगा ही नहीं। निष्काम कर्म योगा में वो चेतन चरितामृत पढ़ेंगे, उसमें देखेंगे अरे महाप्रभु को साग पसंद है, फिर बोलेंगे सुनती हो आज साग बनाओ, महाप्रभु को साग पसंद है, काम कर्म योगा हो गया। ठीक है।